you can make your way back to your mat and start by lying on your back. Open your palms up towards the sky and bring your feet at least as wide as the mat. Bring your arms away from your body so that all of your limbs have space around them. Now, first thing, just feel gravity. So gravity is something that happening all the time. But it's kind of curious how often we actually tune into this sense of gravity, to feeling gravity in our body, in our flesh, in our bones, in the liquids in our body. So to actually feel the effects of gravity. Now, the effects of gravity, or the sensations of gravity through our body, differ from area to area. So start by just noticing the parts throughout your body where you can feel gravity in a really kind of obvious way. The parts that feel really weighty, really heavy, really deeply saturated with gravity. And then concentrate or absorb your attention into these areas. So see how fully you can feel the effects of gravity. And see if this has any kind of effect throughout your mind space. When you really focus on the sensations of gravity. Now bring your awareness to your belly and your chest, and while still keeping your focus on the effects of gravity, begin to notice your breath. But notice your breath like your breath is a river. It's a river that you have never visited before. Imagine you just were kind of strolling through some place in nature and you came across a river. And every river has a kind of spirit or an essence. Every river has a kind of like personality. Every river is absolutely unique and inspirited, full of life. When we meet something or someone for the first time, and we can meet them without the imposition of assumptions, how does it feel? Or what is that experience for you? Remember a moment when you have met somebody and you were just totally open to take them in without any assumptions put upon them. Now imagine the opposite scenario where you're meeting somebody, but you have assumptions. And a lot of these assumptions can be like more subconscious, but we can be more aware of them, especially in hindsight. And so how does that experience feel when you meet somebody, but it's almost like there's a little bit of closure because there's assumptions that are being projected upon that person. Okay, now imagine a time when you have felt somebody is meeting you for the first time and they're just completely open to seeing you in that moment for you without any imposed assumptions. How does that feel? Okay, now imagine the opposite. You meet somebody and you can feel or have a sense of there's some kind of assumption, some kind of projection. How does that feel? When we meet life, whether that's another human or a creature or river or tree, or just the day is life. And when we meet life with a lot of assumptions about what it is already, we limit our experience of absorbing what it could be or its full depth, its full capacity. We can also then kind of cut ourselves short from learning from the fullest experience or the fullest capacities, the fullest depth, the richest complexities, the ones that we can't assume. So now bring your awareness back to gravity, where you feel it in the most profound ways, and the river of your breath. Now, just like every part of a river is different, let every part of your breath be different. Let every breath be different. You know the saying, you can't step in the same river twice. So now just allow your breath to flow as it's flowing. It might be very, very, very subtle. It might appear not to be very deep at all. But absorb yourself into what it is, the beauty of what it is. Now, imagine or potentially even discover or feel this river, your breath, as a conversation, as a language, as having a dialogue, a very deep dialogue with your body mind. You know, we as humans, we exchange words. And the exchange that's happening between your breath and your body is still an exchange. It's still communication. It's just wordless. Now, with every breath, there is a spreading of this communication through your entire body. So see if you can become just a little bit aware of any sensations flooding through your body in any way that seem to be riding on the currents of the breath. look for what is the most subtle, almost, not even hearable. Almost silent. Stay really open and awake and curious to any of these kinds of things I was talking about at the beginning, this kind of stickiness or stuckness, or what we might perceive as blockages. So when you feel anything like that, notice your coping mechanisms that kick in. And let yourself be spacious to all of it. So every layer of it can be a teacher. Now we're going to take a big stretch in a moment, but I want you to witness what happens. So just remain still for a moment. So this big stretch is like what we do every morning when we wake up. Usually there's like a big spontaneous stretch that happens through our body, and our body contorts and makes like a weird shape, and our breath funnels in. So let's create one of those. So begin to reach your arms over your head and stretch your toes away from your fingers, and let this big morning stretch come through your body, but watch what the breath does. It might even be a moment where you actually retain your breath and then you sigh it out. Now notice the sensations that happen after this. So the effects of this big stretch, of this big breath. The tingliness, there's like potentially like a warmness that floods through your body. Now give yourself one more of these. So we're forcing these big stretches. So reach your arms over your head, stretch your toes away from your fingers, and inhale, 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 stretch. And then exhale, drop everything and feel gravity get super heavy. See if you can feel that you're even heavier now. Feel any tingly sensations. Now stay really heavy and roll to your side. And pause on your side and just get cozy for a moment. Get cozy or notice coziness. So if I say get cozy, then you might like get, like curl up in a cuter bundle. But sometimes we associate coziness as something that's coming from outside, like a blanket or a creature or something soft. So here, take a moment to notice that the coziness is you. You're generating the coziness. So now stay connected to that coziness. See if you can preserve it even as you start to move a little bit. So come onto your hands and your knees. Eventually, take your time getting there.